I had just sold some crazy listings that I was in the newspaper for. I think one of them was the most expensive condo ever sold in Santa Monica for $12 million at the time. And then I did like this crazy lease for this king of Saudi or some Middle Eastern country that, did like $300,000 a month lease for 4 years. It was just real crazy stuff. And I get a call from $1 Million Listing. Now, I had heard of the show, but I hadn't watched it before. It's funny because right when they called me, I immediately called my mother and I said, "Ma, I just got offered the show." Yeah. And little did I know, when I went to go meet him, there was also like 150 other realtors in the waiting room.
Okay.
I immediately texted my mom, no show, never mind. And that was it. And like 9 interviews later, after a multi-month interview process, they offered me the gig. And I got to tell you, I wasn't sure if I was going to do it when they offered it to me because I'm not an actor. I am who I am. And people don't know this about me before. But when I came out to LA 20 years ago, I started in the mailroom. I was broke. I came up flipping houses on the side. I became a millionaire when I was 26. And then when the economy collapsed, I lost everything. And so by 26 and a half, I'm broke. And then here I am starting to become successful again. They offer me the show. And the last thing I want to do is expose myself because I've already been to the top and the bottom. And I never want that to happen again. And at the end of the day, the decision that pushed me over to go ahead with the show was the fact that in real estate, the single most important thing in business is to let everyone in the world know what you do for a living.
Okay.
And what better way than to be on a show that plays to multi-million viewers an episode, 70 countries or so around the world. And that's why I did it. And here we are. We just wrapped season 12. We're looking towards season 13 coming soon. And of course, it's been a blessing for the business. Bravo has been an amazing part of my success. And I thank them and World of Wonder, our production company. And it's been an amazing experience.
Now, Josh, at that age of 26, when, shit got obviously, it went away that you never thought it was going to go. What did you do to get yourself back up again, right? Because there's a lot of listeners and viewers that go through a lot of stuff and a lot of them quit.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's people see me on the show and they go, that guy's got it easy. He sells mansions for a living. He probably had connections in LA or this or that. None of it. And, we had flipped many, many houses to get to the point where we were. And I ran a pretty big mortgage company, which I started from scratch at that time. And, when that hit me, when that economy collapsed and I lost everything, first of all, it happened very quick. It was overnight. It was like the faucet just stopped as far as the money coming in. It affected me in a huge way. People don't know this, when they watch the show, I got depressed. It was difficult for me to get out of bed in the morning. Everything, I actually was in denial for a long time. I lied to my friends because I was embarrassed about not being successful. And it was a tough time for me, about 8 months of darkness for me. At that point, I was lucky enough to have my brother who was also right next to me, kind of working through it. And we tried to continually motivate each other. And I got to tell you, it wasn't like we just snapped out of it. We borrowed money. We started to do other businesses. We failed at those businesses. I mean, it was like a period where we couldn't win no matter what we did. And then eventually what we did was we followed our heart. So I had flipped houses and I had financed houses. I loved, every weekend when I had no money, I would drive around and look at open houses because that was exciting to me. And we looked at each other, my brother and I said, why don't we just sell houses? Because we have the background with houses. We love people. Let's do that. And let's see what happens. And because of the love for it, we became successful because we were working nonstop. But for us, it wasn't work.
Right.
Like we weren't rushing to get out of the office. We were doing something we loved. And that in turn made us experts at what we do. We became the best at what we did. And of course, success came along with it. But let me tell you something. I didn't sell a house for the first 6 months. I failed my real estate exam twice.
You're like me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. People are like,
the
easiest test in the world. I couldn't pass it no matter what. Yeah. I spent more money on crash courses than most people spend in their career. Yeah. So, I finally, so all these things, it was a learning process, a lot of ups and downs. Finally sold that first house. I needed that money like I needed air at the time. And then finally sold another and another. And then the next year it was 12 million. The next year it was 30. Then it was 80. Then it was 150. And now we're selling about 500 million a year. But it was a process. It did not happen overnight. Nothing happens overnight. You got to work if you want to be successful.